Chosen one, lock your attention on my voice right now. That urge to scroll past this message must be resisted. You have been feeling a strange heaviness all week. And even though the atmosphere feels thick and conversations seem to stop when you walk in, you must realize this is happening for a specific reason. I know exactly what the last 72 hours have felt like. You are waking up at 3 in the morning with a weight on your chest. You cannot explain this pressure to anyone around you. They would just tell you that you are stressed or working too hard. But you know deep down that this is not normal anxiety, because there is a profound spiritual activation happening quietly inside your physical body right now. You have done everything right. You read the books and practice the law of attraction for years. You wake up early and push yourself to the absolute limit. Yet you look at your bank account and feel a crushing sense of defeat. While you pour your heart into every single endeavor, the massive wealth you constantly visualize never seems to materialize. It feels like the financial deck was stacked against you from birth. You watch other people attract money and opportunities with zero apparent effort. They do not work half as hard as you do. They do not care as much as you do. But the universe seems to hand them everything on a silver platter, while you are left counting pennies and wondering where you went wrong. You are not crazy, and you are not imagining this unfairness. The enemy has been working overtime against you for one reason only. He knows what shifts the moment you finally understand what is blocking you. He wants to keep you exhausted so you never look beneath the surface. And because he is terrified of your true potential, he wants you trapped in the hustle culture forever. You did not find this message by accident today. The algorithm did not bring you here. The Holy Spirit guided you to this exact moment. This is a divine appointment scheduled before the foundations of the earth. Whether you believe it or not, you are standing on the edge of a massive revelation that will permanently shift your entire financial timeline. In the next few minutes, I am going to reveal why your financial isolation was never a punishment. I will expose the specific lie that has been keeping you trapped in a cycle of debt. And at the very end of this message, I will give you the exact declaration that seals your new reality and opens the floodgates. Do not click away. Your future self is waiting on the other side. You have carried the heavy burden of generational struggle for so long. You feel like you are the one destined to break the cycle of poverty for your family. But lately you have started to wonder if you are truly cursed. No matter how hard you pull forward toward your dreams, something invisible and incredibly heavy always seems to pull you right back down to the bottom. Society tells you that if you are not rich, you are simply lazy. They tell you that you lack discipline or poor financial planning is your fault. That is the greatest lie ever told to the chosen ones. You have more discipline than most people have in their entire bodies. The brutal truth is that your relentless work ethic is not the problem here, and you must stop blaming yourself. Before we dive deeper, I want to plant a seed in your mind. There is something hidden from the public right now. It is something discovered not in a motivational book, but inside a classified laboratory. It is a biological secret funded by elite billionaires and verified by top-tier neuroscience. And while the masses are kept distracted, this discovery is actively changing lives. This secret finally explains something I know you have deeply felt. It explains the frustrating gap between the wealth you visualize and the reality you wake up to. The elite billionaires pay armies of lawyers to keep this information hidden from the middle class. Instead of teaching you the truth about abundance, they intentionally feed you empty promises about working harder. I will reveal exactly what this biological secret is before we finish today, but first you must understand why the system was designed to keep you drained. The people at the top know that manifestation requires a physical receiver in your body. You cannot possibly attract massive opportunities if your internal energetic frequency is forcefully dialed down to zero every single day. So I want you to hold this question in your spirit as we continue. What if your struggle to attract abundance is not a lack of hustle at all? What if the financial curse your family carried for generations is actually a dormant frequency just waiting to be switched on? Keep that question at the front of your mind, because the answer will shatter everything you thought you knew. Stay with me until the very last word. If you leave before the verdict, you will walk away from the exact thing heaven deposited in you. The long and painful season of confusion is finally ending today. Prepare your heart and anchor your spirit, because the shocking truth about your biological wealth receiver is about to be exposed for the very first time. Let me reframe your entire reality right now. That isolation you have been calling a punishment was never a punishment. It was always a divine preparation for your future. God did not remove the crowd to abandon you in your time of need, but he removed the noise so he could finally speak to you without any worldly interference. Your financial struggle is not evidence of your disqualification. For years you have carried a heavy guilt. You thought your inability to attract wealth was a personal failure. You believed that if you just worked a few more hours, everything would magically fix itself. But no matter how much you sacrifice, the needle barely moves forward. This endless cycle of exhaustion was designed to make you feel completely powerless, and it keeps you disconnected from your true potential. Here is the brutal truth the elite do not want you to know. The reason the universe responds to the 1% and leaves the rest of the world struggling is not because they work harder than you. It is not because they visualize better or have stronger morning routines. It is entirely biological. The massive gap between your daily reality and their effortless lifestyle is a physical component. Deep inside your brain is a tiny region called the hippocampus. In the insanely wealthy, this region is thick and highly developed. It is constantly broadcasting a microscopic frequency that literally pulls money and opportunities toward them like a vacuum. They do not have to chase wealth every day, because their biology naturally commands the universe to bring it directly to their doorstep. But for the average person, the reality is much darker. Because you were not born into an 8-figure family, you inherited a biological disadvantage. Science calls this a shrunken hippocampus. Instead of broadcasting a powerful wealth frequency, your brain is trapped broadcasting a survival wave, and you have been operating on this suppressed, energetic level your entire life, while wondering why nothing ever changes for you. The modern world is perfectly designed to keep your frequency exactly that way. Every time you stress over a bill or worry about your future, this tiny region shrinks a little more. The endless stacks of responsibilities and constant financial anxiety create a loop of pure fear. Your natural ability to attract abundance is pushed deeper into dormancy, and you are left fighting an invisible battle. This is exactly why you can read every self-help book and practice the law of attraction for years with zero results. You are trying to manifest massive wealth while your internal receiver is completely powered down. You end up chasing money endlessly, while the elite simply let it flow to them effortlessly. It is a biological block, quietly sabotaging your highest potential. This block is passed down from generation to generation. It is the real reason your family has always struggled to break the invisible ceiling. You have been fighting against a physical limitation that you did not even know existed until this very moment. But the fact that you feel this friction means your spirit recognizes the misalignment, because you were meant for so much more. Most people will go to their graves believing they just did not work hard enough. They will accept the struggle and blame themselves for every closed door. You are not most people. You have always known that you carry a completely different calling. The pain you have endured was simply the pressure required to wake you up to this exact spiritual revelation today. Remember the question I asked you to hold a few minutes ago? I asked, what if your struggle was just a dormant frequency waiting to be switched on? You are about to see that the answer is not only scientifically proven, but it is closer than you could ever imagine. The lie of the hustle culture is finally losing its grip on your life. You are standing between two identities right now. The old you, who had to fight for every single penny, is slowly dissolving. The new you, who operates on a billionaire frequency, is desperately trying to emerge into the light. This transition feels incredibly uncomfortable, because your physical body is resisting the massive energetic upgrade that heaven is trying to download. The elite want you to believe that wealth requires sacrificing your peace. They promote a culture of endless grinding, so you stay distracted from your internal power. But heaven never intended for you to burn out just to survive on this earth. True abundance is supposed to flow into your life with grace and ease, and it is a natural byproduct of an aligned mind and spirit. Every tear you shed in secret was recorded by the universe. Every time you gave your last dollar to help someone else, heaven took detailed notes. You thought your generosity was making you poorer, but in reality you were proving that your heart is ready to handle massive resources. The preparation phase has been brutal, but it was absolutely necessary to protect you from the coming storm. Your sensitivity is not a weakness. It is the very radar you need to detect this frequency shift. The people who called you too much or too deep simply could not comprehend the depth of your receiver. You were built differently for a specific reason, and the moment you restore this biological channel, everything that was withheld from you will begin to rush back into your life. But here is where the narrative of your journey delves far deeper than most are willing to perceive. You must understand how this biological frequency has always been woven into the fabric of history. Ancient spiritual leaders knew about this invisible power long before modern science gave it a proper name. It was never a secret to the ones truly chosen by heaven. Look closely at the story of King Solomon. He was the wealthiest man to ever walk the physical earth. He did not achieve his massive abundance by grinding in a hustle culture or sacrificing his peace for gold. He asked heaven for wisdom, and in return his mind was instantly tuned to a divine frequency. That specific frequency literally pulled resources from everywhere. Kings and queens traveled across vast oceans just to bring him their riches. He did not have to chase down opportunities because his internal receiver was perfectly aligned with the rhythm of heaven. Solomon understood that true wealth is an energetic flow. And when your mind is broadcasting the correct signal, the universe has no choice but to respond with overwhelming favor. Now look at Moses standing before the burning bush. He spent 40 long years wandering in the quiet desert, feeling forgotten by the world. But that brutal isolation was the exact crucible required to tune his receiver. God had to separate him from the loud frequency of Egypt before he could hear the divine instruction. His lonely desert was his preparation. You have been walking through your own financial desert for what feels like an eternity. You have felt forgotten and completely drained of daily hope. But just like Moses, you are being tuned to a frequency that will eventually liberate your entire bloodline. Your coming breakthrough is going to have a massive ripple effect on everyone connected to you. It is bigger than you. Now think about your own prolonged season of isolation. You thought God was punishing you by stripping away your friends and routines, but heaven was actually placing you inside a spiritual crucible. God cleared the room because he needed to change your frequency without toxic interference. You had to be separated from the heavy survival wave. The people pulling away from you are not rejecting you, they are simply grieving the old version of you that they are about to lose. Your spirit is currently undergoing a massive and beautiful recalibration. You are shifting away from the exhausting cycle of poverty, and ordinary minds cannot comprehend the heavy spiritual weight of what you are carrying right now. What you carry inside you is not a wound. It is a powerful weapon. The deep sensitivity they always told you to hide is actually a highly advanced spiritual radar. The emotional depth that made you feel like you were too much is the exact thing that gives your words power. You were completely misunderstood by a cold world that thrives on very shallow connections. You did not just survive the brutal fires that should have completely broken you. Those fires forged your spirit and developed your capacity to hold massive blessings. The enemy tried to destroy you with endless financial delays and constant roadblocks. But instead of breaking your spirit, those attacks only proved the immense magnitude of your divine calling on this earth. The enemy does not waste premium attacks on people who have ordinary assignments. The intense warfare surrounding your finances is absolute proof that you are meant to govern massive resources. If you were destined to be broke, the dark forces would have left you alone years ago. They are terrified of what happens when your receiver is switched on. You were never meant to be everyone else's savior. You were meant to carry one specific assignment that only you can fulfill. But to do that, you must stop operating on the frequency of a victim. You are the chosen one, and your life carries a profound meaning that is still unfolding right before your very eyes. You must learn to see yourself clearly in this new light. This is exactly why your current isolation is a sacred consecration. You are being prepared to hold a level of abundance that would completely crush a normal person. The universe is rewiring your nervous system to handle the massive windfalls that are currently making their way toward you. Do not despise this lonely season when it is actively saving your future. Everything you have endured so far was preparing you for this exact moment. You are not aging or falling behind the rest of the world. You have been molting. You are shedding the heavy layers of a generational curse that was never yours to carry. And as those old layers fall away, your true spiritual identity is finally beginning to shine through the cracks. Once you understand that your isolation was preparation, a massive energetic shift happens. But there is something else underneath this truth that goes even deeper. Once that profound truth clicks into place, you are ready for the next layer. Coming up, I will expose the hidden root that keeps most chosen ones stuck. But first, let this settle into your bones. Here is that deeper root I promised to expose. The enemy outside is not the only thing keeping your wealth completely blocked today. There is something happening inside you that you have mistaken for profound spiritual wisdom. It is a quiet agreement you made a long time ago, and until we confront this hidden truth, the cycle of endless struggle will just keep repeating itself. But here is the part no one wants to hear, and I say this with nothing but pure love for your journey. The thing quietly blocking your financial breakthrough is not a demon. The truth is that some hidden part of you has been absolutely terrified of your own power, because you are deeply afraid of what happens when you finally shine. You have been dimming your light for years to keep other people comfortable. You saw how your natural spiritual gifts intimidated them. You felt their heavy jealousy whenever you succeeded. So you subconsciously turned down your own frequency to fit into their small boxes, and you decided it was much safer to struggle alongside them instead of rising above. This is the exact lie I promised to expose earlier in this message. You made a secret agreement with smallness to protect yourself from painful rejection. You convinced yourself that struggling somehow makes you a more spiritual person. You believed that poverty was a badge of righteous humility, but that is a massive deception designed to keep you powerless and entirely dependent on a broken system. False humility is a toxic poison to your divine calling. Heaven does not need you to be broke to prove your deep faith. The universe cannot fund your massive spiritual assignment if your hands are tightly closed. You cannot possibly change the world or help those in need if you cannot even pay your own monthly bills and live in a constant state of financial panic. This is not an accusation against you. It is the loving diagnosis that will finally set you free from the trap. You must look honestly at this subtle snare today. Because the moment you recognize this internal block, its dark power over your life instantly evaporates, while the light of truth destroys the shame you have been carrying. You sabotage your own success whenever it gets too close to you. You procrastinate on your biggest ideas because you are scared of the heavy responsibility. Deep down, you know the undeniable truth. If you fully activate your wealth frequency, your entire life will completely change overnight, and that level of massive transformation is incredibly daunting for anyone to face alone. Change is terrifying even when it is a beautiful blessing. The new wealthy identity feels completely foreign to your physical body. Your nervous system has become addicted to the familiar chaos of financial struggle. It takes massive courage to evict the trauma you have known your entire life, because healing always feels uncomfortable at first when the old wounds are finally exposed. But you cannot carry your survival habits into your new season of abundance. The old you, who constantly panicked over monthly bills, must step aside now. The version of you that shrinks to make others feel tall must be left behind. You are rapidly outgrowing the fragile shell that used to protect you, and heaven is demanding that you step into the fullness of who you were created to be. You are the chosen one. You were designed to walk into rooms and shift the entire atmosphere without speaking. You were meant to govern resources and fund the deep healing of your bloodline. But you can never do that if you are still apologizing for your own brilliance. So you must immediately stop saying sorry for the divine gifts you were given. It is time to break that toxic agreement right now. You must stop asking for permission to be wealthy and successful. Your breakthrough does not need approval from the people who completely misunderstood you. It activates the very moment you stop hiding your light and bravely take your rightful place at the table where massive abundance has already been prepared for you. The deep discomfort you feel in your chest right now is a good thing. It is the breaking of those old heavy chains. It is the weight of false humility finally falling off your tired shoulders. You must breathe through this uncomfortable valley, because the spiritual elevation waiting on the other side is absolutely breathtaking, and you are being completely emptied out to be refilled. Do not let the enemy convince you that this exposure is a punishment. This is a profound spiritual surgery performed by the gentle hands of heaven. Every lie you believed about your own worthlessness is being surgically removed from your spirit. You are being washed completely clean of the poverty mindset that kept your ancestors in bondage, paving the way for a beautiful inheritance that belongs to your future. Now that the hidden block is fully exposed, you are ready for the exact solution. Coming up, I will reveal the precise tool that forces this broken receiver back online. But first, let this deep realization completely wash over your tired spirit today. You must let this profound truth settle deeply like bedrock before we move forward into the massive activation that is waiting for you in the next few minutes. Now that your internal block is exposed, we must quickly address the physical damage. Your spiritual awakening requires a strong biological anchor in this physical realm, because realizing you are deeply afraid of success is only the very first step on this long journey. You still have a shrunken hippocampus broadcasting that heavy survival wave every single day, and we must physically reverse that deep suppression to finally set you free. The universe never leaves a chosen one without a divine strategy. If heaven calls you to govern massive wealth, heaven also provides the precise tool to make it happen. For decades, the elite believed they were the only ones who possessed this biological advantage. They spent vast fortunes trying to ensure the middle class stayed completely locked out of this abundance, because a poor population is much easier to control. Before we go any further, today I have to share a massive breakthrough. This revelation changes everything you know about wealth. It is something the elite billionaires want to keep hidden from the public. A rogue neuroscientist formerly working on highly classified CIA experiments recently leaked a shocking discovery, and this brave leak completely shatters the illusion of the endless hustle culture. He and a team of top-tier researchers found a way to wake up that dormant wealth frequency. They found a way to rapidly reverse the terrible effects of a shrunken hippocampus. And they did not do it through decades of exhausting meditation or relentless journaling. They discovered something infinitely simpler and far more powerful than waking up at 4 in the morning to force a fake hustle mindset. They engineered a precise and perfectly calibrated 7-minute sound frequency. When listened to quietly, this specific acoustic wave bypasses your conscious mind entirely. It directly stimulates that tiny region of your brain and forces it to wake up. 4 independent neuroscience labs have already verified this profound biological activation, proving that it is not magic, but pure science aligning with divine design. Researchers on the campuses of Harvard and Yale are observing this exact brainwave activation right now. They found that once this specific frequency is heard, the physical brain actually changes. It forces your mind to stop broadcasting the toxic survival wave. And it immediately flips the switch on your natural biological ability to attract massive wealth and unexpected opportunities without any grueling effort. This is a completely effortless ritual you do in your own home. Just 7 minutes a day is all it takes for the energetic shift to begin. You do not have to visualize until you are exhausted. You do not have to write empty affirmations on a piece of paper. You simply listen quietly and allow the ancient frequency to rewire your entire nervous system for massive abundance. I will tell you exactly what this is called before this message ends. I will show you how you can access this profound frequency for yourself very soon. But first, there is one final piece of the puzzle you must deeply understand, because the tool only works when you are spiritually ready to hold the blessing. We must discuss why the law of attraction has been completely failing you all these years. You see, wealth is a living energy that responds to your physical vibration. When you chase money from a place of deep desperation, money will always run away from you. Desperation is the absolute loudest frequency of a shrunken hippocampus. But when you operate from a place of biological alignment, you become a massive magnet for everything you ever desired, and the endless chasing finally stops. Something beautiful is already shifting in your favor right now. Even if you cannot fully see it yet with your physical eyes, doors are beginning to loosen. Opportunities that felt impossibly far away are quietly moving toward your direction today. The heavy season of delay is crumbling beneath the weight of your new spiritual awareness, and you are finally stepping into the glorious light. You are not chasing your massive breakthrough anymore. Your breakthrough is actively finding its way to you through the darkness. The universe is responding to the beautiful courage you showed by simply staying here. By facing your hidden fears and acknowledging your biological blocks, you have authorized heaven to release a flood of unexpected miracles into your life this very week. Feel the profound hope rising in your chest right now. That warm sensation is the undeniable proof that your spirit recognizes the absolute truth. You are no longer a victim of a broken system or a generational curse. You are an activated chosen one who is about to take back every single thing the enemy stole from your family line, and your victory is completely guaranteed. The world tried so hard to keep your frequency dulled and suppressed. They wanted you tired and confused, because an awakened chosen one is the most dangerous force on earth. But their dark plan has officially failed today, because you are waking up to your biological power, and there is absolutely nothing they can do to stop the massive abundance flowing toward you now. And now comes the pivotal moment where absolutely everything in your life shifts forever. You have walked through the dark valley of preparation for years. You endured the heavy isolation and the painful misunderstandings, but the season of hiding in the shadows is officially over today. Heaven has witnessed your quiet tears, and God is finally moving massive mountains on your behalf right now. You are no longer the broken person who desperately chased after tiny crumbs of success. You are the chosen cycle breaker that your ancestors prayed for in secret. You are finally ready to receive the abundance you deserve. And the massive wealth you have been visualizing is not just a fantasy, because it is a biological and spiritual inheritance that rightfully belongs to you. Every painful rejection you faced was actually a divine redirection. Every time a door slammed shut, God was actively protecting you from settling for less. You were always meant to govern real financial abundance in this lifetime. And you can only do that when you finally step into your massive spiritual authority, leaving behind all the apologies and the heavy doubts. Your frequency is rising rapidly inside your physical body right now. You can feel the heavy chains of generational poverty shattering inside your chest. The universe is aligning perfectly to deliver the massive breakthrough you have been waiting for. But heaven needs your verbal agreement to completely seal this beautiful energetic shift, bringing it directly into your physical reality today. Some messages do not just inform your tired mind. Some messages carry a profound divine power that actively alters your physical timeline. This is your defining moment as a chosen one. It is not happening tomorrow or when you finally feel fully ready. It is happening right now, in this exact second, and you must boldly claim it with your own powerful voice before the window closes. I want you to stop whatever you are currently doing. Put away all your distractions and focus entirely on the massive energy building in the room. I want you to place your hand directly over your beating heart right now. Feel the steady rhythm of your chest, and know that every single beat is a beautiful testament to your incredible survival against all odds. With your hand firmly on your heart, I want you to declare this out loud. Say it with absolute conviction in your spirit. I release the heavy need to be understood by everyone around me. I completely release every toxic agreement I ever made with smallness. I step out of the dark shadows, and I boldly claim my divine assignment to carry massive wealth on this earth. Keep your hand on your heart and continue to declare this eternal truth. My painful isolation was always preparation, and it was never a punishment. I am fully equipped to handle the massive wealth that is coming my way. I forgive myself for dimming my beautiful light to please other people. And I absolutely refuse to apologize for the incredible spiritual power I carry, because I was built for a completely different frequency. Take a deep breath and say this final piece with me today. My financial breakthrough is not coming someday in the distant future. It is already here and actively moving toward me right now. I am chosen, and I am fully prepared to receive my blessings. I am exactly where I am supposed to be, and my internal wealth receiver is officially switched back on for the rest of my life. Let those powerful words settle deep into your physical bones. The heavy survival wave you carried for decades has just been completely shattered. Your mind is no longer broadcasting the desperate frequency of poverty and lack. You just authorized heaven to release a massive flood of unexpected miracles into your daily life, and the universe has already begun orchestrating them. You will wake up tomorrow morning feeling entirely different. The chronic anxiety that usually sits on your chest will be completely gone. A profound sense of peace and steady confidence will replace the endless fear. You have crossed the sacred threshold into your new identity, and there is absolutely no going back to the old broken version of you. The spiritual activation you just experienced is undeniably real, but you must protect this beautiful new frequency from the toxic noise around you, because the enemy will immediately try to pull you back into the heavy hustle culture. He wants you to forget the massive revelation you just received today, hoping you will go back to doubting your own incredible worth. You must gently hold this new identity with deep reverence. You are now a living magnet for abundance and incredible opportunities. The universe recognizes your upgraded frequency and is already working in your favor. Your only job right now is to keep your physical receiver fully open, allowing the massive blessings to flow effortlessly into your daily life. This brings us directly to the physical solution I promised you earlier. Because knowing you carry this billionaire frequency is only half of the journey. The other half is actively learning to keep it from being dulled by a noisy world. And that is exactly where the biological tool we discussed becomes absolutely essential, ensuring your newly awakened brainwave stays permanently locked in place. For the visionary ready to go deeper, we must physically secure this activation. You cannot afford to let the daily stress shrink your capacity ever again. You have done the incredibly hard spiritual work today. Now it is time to effortlessly maintain this massive breakthrough in your physical body, so the immense wealth can finally materialize directly into your hands. The question I asked you to hold earlier about your financial struggle is finally answered here. A microscopic wealth attraction frequency is naturally active in the 1%, and it is driven by a highly developed region of the brain called the hippocampus. Classified CI. A research actually confirmed this exact biological phenomenon. 4 independent neuroscience labs verified the same truth. Researchers on the campuses of Harvard and Yale are observing it right now. Dr. Thomas Summers is a rogue New York neuroscientist who formerly worked on these top-secret experiments. He absolutely refused to let elite billionaires keep this biological cheat code hidden from the middle class. He and his team spent years compressing the clinical protocol into a very simple audio track. But before I tell you exactly what they built, let me tell you about 2 incredible people who used it. Emma was a former nurse from California who felt her family was under a severe financial curse. She was completely exhausted and drowning in massive debt. After just 3 days of listening, she broke the cycle completely. She quit her job and sold her house for way over the asking price. She now travels the world on passive income while sharing this massive abundance with her children. Michael was a former policeman in Florida who started using it to scale his struggling business. Within 5 days, he quadrupled his high-paying clients effortlessly. He found himself networking with wealthy elites who quickly put him on national television. He said his transformation was crazy. That is entirely because of what Dr. Summers and his brilliant researchers finally discovered. They call it the Billionaire brainwave. It is not a generic manifestation app or a cheap motivation tape. It is a highly engineered 7-minute binaural sound wave designed to directly stimulate your hippocampus. It pulls that tiny region out of deep dormancy without any grueling effort. That is the entirety of the hard work required. 7 minutes in the morning with your headphones on while you sip your coffee. You do not journal or repeat forced affirmations at all. You simply let the precise frequency rewire your tired brain to receive. The Billionaire brainwave is definitely not for everyone watching. It is for the visionary who has done the hard inner work. It is for the chosen one who knows their lack of wealth is a blocked biological channel and not a lack of hustle. If your spirit confirms this is for you, the path is below. Private acoustic sessions to reverse a shrunken hippocampus cost hundreds of dollars per hour in a clinical setting. Elite billionaires happily invest massive fortunes to access this exact frequency behind closed doors. What Dr. Summers leaked delivers the exact same neurological shift in just 7 minutes, and it is available to you today for a tiny fraction of its true value. It requires an energetic exchange of less than the cost of a few cups of coffee. 4 powerful bonuses are included to deeply support your massive new reality. You will receive a guide to managing massive wealth called the Warren Buffett Pyramid. You also get a breakdown of 7 lazy millionaire habits. They included an emergency quick cash manifestation audio for immediate financial needs. And you will receive an inspiring collection of 500 billionaire success stories to keep your mind anchored in pure abundance. Here is the deeper truth about waiting right now. The immense wealth you have been praying for is already circling you. The blessing is not missing because your physical receiver is simply broken. The chosen one who restores their frequency today finally sees the massive financial windfalls that were always waiting in their path. Delaying this activation simply means letting your beautiful inheritance remain entirely invisible. Do not look for this ancient frequency on YouTube or Spotify today. The tracks circulating under similar names on those platforms have absolutely zero binaural entrainment technology encoded. They are dangerous fakes meant to distract you. The only authentic and neurologically active version is available through the secure link. That exact link has been placed in the description and the pinned comment below for your protection. This comes with the Billionaire ironclad promise. The universe requires absolutely no financial risk from you today. If you do not experience a physical and undeniable increase in your wealth, every penny is fully returned. It is an energetic exchange governed by complete trust. The link is in the description and in the pinned comment below. The tool does not replace your massive ambition or your divine purpose. It simply restores the biological receiver so your ambition can finally manifest the wealth it was always supposed to produce. Whether you choose that path or not, the beautiful message continues. Now, let us return to the vital preparation of your mind. Your billionaire mindset is the most valuable asset you will ever possess. Once the biological frequency is fully restored, your physical reality begins to shift incredibly fast. You must be mentally prepared to receive the massive opportunities the universe will immediately send your way. This requires a profound level of spiritual maturity. You are no longer living in deep survival mode. The old version of you would have sabotaged this massive blessing. The unhealed version of you would have felt completely unworthy of such incredible wealth. But you have shed those heavy layers of false humility today. You have evicted the generational trauma that kept your family in endless bondage. Your beautiful spirit is now completely aligned with the pure rhythm of divine abundance. When the financial windfalls begin to arrive, you must remain incredibly grounded. Do not let the sudden influx of money change the purity of your chosen heart. Wealth is simply a massive amplifier of what already exists inside you. And because your heart is pure, this immense wealth will be used to fund beautiful healing in your life. You are a completely safe vessel for heaven to use. If your intuition confirms that the frequency tool described earlier is the missing key, the path remains completely open. It is waiting for you in the description below. That is the absolutely final time I will mention it today. What remains now belongs entirely to the sacred sealing of your ultimate transformation. The brave choice to step into your power is entirely yours. Take another deep breath and let the quiet peace wash over your tired body. You have done incredibly hard spiritual work to get to this exact moment. The long years of painful confusion are officially behind you now. You can finally stop fighting the invisible battles that drained your precious energy. The brutal war for your massive financial freedom has already been won. Heaven is so incredibly proud of your relentless endurance. Even when the cold world told you to give up, you kept pushing forward with pure blind faith. Your beautiful perseverance is finally being rewarded right now. The universe is orchestrating incredibly lucrative synchronicities that will naturally cross your path this week. You do not have to force anything to happen anymore. I want you to completely release the heavy anxiety you have been holding in your shoulders. Let the tightness in your chest dissolve beautifully into the warm light. You do not have to worry about how the bills will get paid tomorrow. You do not have to panic over the endless responsibilities that used to crush your spirit. Your divine provider has already made a clear path for you. From this moment forward, you will walk with the steady confidence of someone who knows they are completely supported. When you walk into a room, the atmosphere will shift to accommodate your new frequency. People will look at you and sense a profound authority they simply cannot explain. They will see the undeniable favor resting heavily upon your life. You are officially untouchable today. Everything you endured was never wasted. It was meticulously preparing you to hold this massive and beautiful power. You are not the misunderstood outcast anymore. You are the chosen one who broke the heavy cycle of poverty for your entire bloodline. And heaven is eagerly waiting to watch you step into your massive physical inheritance right now. The massive struggle is officially over. Do not look back at the people who rejected you during your painful preparation. They were simply not meant to travel with you into this glorious new season. Bless them quietly and continue walking forward into your beautiful abundance. Your massive breakthrough is not coming someday in the distant future. It is already here and actively surrounding you with incredible favor. You have successfully crossed the sacred threshold. The heavy veil that kept your eyes closed has been permanently lifted today. You can clearly see the massive opportunities that were previously hidden by your deep exhaustion. The universe is practically begging you to take massive action toward your wildest dreams. You are fully equipped and completely authorized to succeed wildly. If this message met you in the exact place you needed it today, share it with someone who has also been called too sensitive. Gently press the like button so this blessing can reach another tired, chosen one who needs profound hope tonight. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss the next divine revelation about who you really are. Your spiritual community is waiting for you here. You are deeply loved, and you are incredibly powerful. The season of painful preparation is officially complete. Your massive assignment starts right now, and tomorrow morning you will wake up as a completely transformed person. Keep your frequency high, and always remember that you were born for absolute greatness. Walk in peace, and let the massive abundance flow.